Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today's tutorial is based on do's and don'ts for writing task. Whenever we start preparation of any examination, whether it is competitive exam or any exam, the first step is to check the guidelines and the patterns of that particular examination, because then only we'll be able to get the desired score or crack it. So similarly in IELTS also, before starting writing module, the first thing is to check the do's and don'ts of this module. So let's begin with our today's class. So firstly, the do's and don'ts are important because if they are not followed, then our band scores are deducted. So let's start. The first one is to use pencils only. In IELTS examination, pens are not used and we use only pencils. And next one is no short forms. So in this world of gadgets, we are very much into chatting and texting, and just to save our time over there, we are into short forms and we commonly use short forms. But these short forms are not part of formal writing, and in IELTS we follow formal writing pattern. So no short forms are used. Like I have taken example over here of and. So rather than writing the whole word and, we use the symbol. So this is not used. In IELTS we will be writing it full form, that is A and D. Similarly, no abbreviations are used in IELTS. The most common abbreviation that we used is ETC, that is etc. But the full form is ETCETERA, which we are supposed to use rather than using the abbreviation, that is ETC. And suppose we are taking any common word and we are taking example, whether in the question of essay like MNC, then also we are not supposed to write the abbreviation MNC. We have to write the full form, that is multinational company. The next one is not to use contractions. Contractions are words like can't, didn't, couldn't, won't, and rather than using these contractions, we are supposed to use cannot, did not, could not, would not, and will not, and we avoid the use of contractions. The next one is to leave a line after each paragraph. When we used to do writing during our college or school time, the very common format that what we followed was to not to leave a line after paragraph. So what we used to do was, whenever a paragraph is completed, we started the next paragraph from mid of the line by leaving a little bit space on the left side. This pattern is not followed in IELTS. In IELTS we follow extreme left alignment as it is written in the next do's and don'ts. And for that, whenever a paragraph is completed, whether it is introduction, body paragraph or conclusion, we are supposed to leave a line after that. And we will be following extreme left alignment, as I said, that is no leaving of space in the initial or in the beginning of a particular line. The next one is not to overwrite. So usually it is seen that to save our time, we don't erase or we don't rub and rewrite. What we do is we overwrite. I'll take an example, because most of the students ask me that, ma'am, what is overwriting? Suppose a word is ending with the word S, but by mistake I have written E. So what I do is, I do not erase the word E and write S, rather I just overwrite S word, S on on E. So this is called overwriting. So this pattern is not followed in IELTS. We'll be erasing it and rewriting again. The next word is not to split words. What is splitting of words? It is seen that whenever the sentence is about to end or the line is about to end and we feel that the space is not enough for a word to fit in, so what we do is we just write half of the word. Like suppose we have to write because, so we just write BE, put a hyphen and move on to next line and write the remaining word, that is cause. This pattern is not followed in IELTS. If we feel that the word will not fit in that particular space, we will move on to next line, but we are not supposed to split the words into two, because splitting of words is not part of formal speaking. The second last one is no cuttings. As we are using pencils, cuttings are not expected from us. We are expected to erase and rewrite, as I mentioned earlier as well. The last and the most important one is to avoid commanding language. Commanding language is generally used in writing task 1 of academic students. Like I'll just take an example. Suppose there is a process of chocolate making or tea making. So usually students do is they use this kind of language that take pan, add water. These are the instructions that we are giving to someone, and they look like command, but we don't use this. Rather than this, we prefer using that pan is taken, water is added. This is the way we prefer. Similarly, there are some modals like should, must, and they are used by our teachers and authorities when they want us to follow certain things. So they are allowed to give us commands, but we are not allowed to use commanding language when we are writing our tasks. So we are not supposed to use these words. Definitely these words can be used if the demand of the question asks so. Suppose in the question they are asking for suggestions, then definitely in suggestions we can use should or must. But if it is not asked, then it looks like we are commanding someone, so we will not use these modals. So these are the do's and don'ts of writing task. We should be very much clear before starting the writing module for these do's and don'ts, because if they are not followed, definitely our band score would be deducted. And more importantly, when we are practicing at home, we are supposed to follow all these, because if we practice these, then only it will become our habit and it will be habitual for us. Then there are very limited chances that we will make the same mistake in exam. But if they are not followed and we do not practice it, then definitely we will make at least a single mistake in exam. So while you all are practicing at home, kindly just take into account all these do's and don'ts. It will definitely help you all. That's it for today's video. I hope the do's and don'ts are clear to all of you. Thank you so much.